Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of the Moso Live. It's more slowly and fall. I am excited to have on as our guest today, Fran Fluhler with the Manna House. Fran is the, I think, director and maybe founder. And she's not one to toot her own horn, but we'll toot it just a little bit. But what we really want to highlight is the great work that they're doing out at the Manna House and how they're serving those in need in our community. And they're doing it through a lot of great volunteers and a lot of great folks making donations and helping them out. I had the pleasure this morning. Fran was kind enough to meet me out at the Manor House to give me a tour and do. And sometimes, folks, when you meet somebody for the first time, you can tell they're real special, and you can tell not only how they interact with you, but how they're interacting with others. And I got that feel 100% from Miss Fran today. So, Fran, thank you for your time today. I know you're busy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for coming out to Manna House this morning.
Well, it was my pleasure. I've heard a lot of great things. I know our team here at the office has been out, as I mentioned to you this morning. My son and my wife, along with I think some of the members of his basketball team, came out and volunteered from Bob Jones this summer. And so it's a great resource for our community to helping those that need a little bit of help just to get by sometimes and to try to get them a little further down the road so they can better themselves. So, folks, if you're watching today, you're watching live, you got questions or comments, throw them out there on Facebook or Twitter, and we'll try to get to them. If you're watching the show recorded, like a lot of folks do, please share it out and help get the word out about the Manor House. Maybe you've heard about the Manor House and you found a little bit more details about it, or maybe you know someone who's in need of the services that the Manor House provides, and you can send them in that direction. So, Fran, I guess for those that aren't familiar or maybe have heard about the Manor House in person a little bit, but give us a little picture or snapshot of what you guys do and what your mission is out there.
So we like to say we're an expression of God's love to the community. We like to just make people feel super comfortable. We use first names only so that the first time they come through the door, it's like meeting a new friend. It's not awkward because the first time you have to have help, you just feel a little bit like I don't know how to make contact with these people. You look down at the ground, you're a little bit maybe ashamed that you can't feed your kids. And so we don't want them to feel that way. So we just
You.
out, greet them at the door. Hey, how are you doing today? How to get those eyes up, trying to get a smile on their face, and just start talking to them. Let them come to the line and get food. But more than that, bring hope. And so one of
Yeah.
our mission statements is that we're here to give you hope through food and help you feed your family, but also help you know that you're not alone. And I think that that's our real mission statement at Manna House is we just want the community to know that somebody cares, they see them, they're not invisible.
Wow. That's great. And I agree because a lot of times people lose hope and people are probably, I would think, maybe a little ashamed or embarrassed maybe to ask for help and do in a time of need when they really need it. And you guys there aren't questioning anything about what it is if they're there and you're there to help them, right?
That's right. Just come down and walk through the line and choose the kind of food you would like to eat or your family prefers to eat and make some new friends.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about that for a few minutes. So you were kind enough to walk me through this morning to give me a really hands-on approach as to what we can expect. So tell the folks out there when we talk about food distribution, what it looks like when y'all do this on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And talk to us a little bit about what that looks like. If someone's coming in, what can they expect to see? And if they're volunteering, what kind of things are they helping with?
Great. So if you're coming for food, you're going to come through the front door anytime 3 to 6, and we're going to let you choose what type food you'd like to eat. We do mostly fresh fruits and vegetables. We do have canned goods around the holidays because everybody's got to make those famous casseroles. But the rest of the time, we try to have fresh vegetables. You can make salads. Today we have sweet potatoes, Irish potatoes, a lot of wonderful things like cherry tomatoes, cherry bombs, regular tomatoes, grapes, plums, all the things that are expensive to buy, but you will be
Right.
able to have in your own box. And then when you get your meat, some people don't eat pork. Some people, their faith doesn't eat pork or beef. Some people like lamb. Some people can only eat fish. And maybe they're on a special diet. So we don't pick it. We let you pick it. A lot of people like chicken. And then after you leave that part of the ring, you're going to go to the next part and you're going to choose, maybe you've been at Key all day. So you don't feel like cooking dinner. Great. Take a hot meal home with you or a salad. And we have lots of desserts. We think that kid who has a cupcake thinks the world's okay. So pick out cupcakes or maybe you like cookies or maybe you love pastries or, whatever it is, you just pick it yourself. We have one man who loves it when he can get a little miniature pecan pie. And we try to get him to take a big one. He's like, no, I can't eat all that. So I love how people just take what they need. We have diapers and wipes,
Mm.
hygiene items. You got to have deodorant to go to work. And if you shave, you need a razor and you need toothpaste and toothbrushes. We don't want families sharing toothbrushes. That happens a lot. I can't imagine it, but it does happen a lot.
Right.
A lot of toothbrushes. And we just want families to have things that they need, have a normal life. I said there's a
Yes.
few non-negotiables, and that's toilet paper and diapers.
The front.
You want. So, try to have all that. And then if they need clothes, we have clothes they can get. If their children need clothes, they need that. We have a library. They can grab books from the library. So it's a very slow paced if you need to go slow, very fast paced if you need to hurry and rush through, you make it the pace you want. And we just want to help families who are in need of help with nutritious food but can't afford it.
Yeah. And folks, I'll tell you, it was just really amazing to see the amount of and the types of variety that you guys had out there this morning. And it wasn't just one or two items, Miss Fran. It was a lot. And I think that's great. And I think it's great that you guys allow them to kind of select which items that may fit their needs better and do, because some people prefer cucumbers, some people may not like cucumbers, or squash or onions or whatever it may be. And I think that's great that you had that variety and can do, and it's opening people up to their palate and try other things. And I love that you do have, well, a lot of us like the sweets. I'm, guilty of that, but I love that you do have the more healthier options. And you were sharing, you and one of the great volunteers this morning were sharing a great story about that when you first started offering a lot of salads and things, people were like, "Ooh, salads." And now if you don't have a lot of those items, they're really giving you grief because you don't have them, right?
That's right. But that's why we started a hydroponic garden is because, you can buy grade B lettuce, but nobody wants to eat it, not even a rabbit. So buying grade A lettuce was very expensive. And I said, I can do this for pennies on the dollar. So we put it in the hydroponic garden, and it's true. It's very inexpensive. And, our water bill last month was $38 for 6,700 heads of lettuce. That's pretty inexpensive. Seeds inexpensive. So we can grow it a lot cheaper and it's a lot better for you. It's healthier. And so that's why we grow the Teja romaine so we can make those 3,000 salads a week. But everybody's got salads at home and they do. Even the kids want the salad. So it's kind of cute.
I love that. You're not only making a difference, but you're changing a trajectory of their health by opening them up to more health, better health options, so they have, lower risk for medical issues in the future. And I want to touch on the hydroponic garden for just a little bit. Can you tell folks who may not be familiar with what that is? And you told me this morning that I saw on y'all's website the staggering number of heads of lettuce a month that y'all are producing. It's amazing.
It's a cool thing. We live in a space city and space technology. And so it's kind of cool. The first time I ever saw that was actually a demo at the botanical gardens that they had. And when I was at Disney and saw it years ago, never knew I'd be in the hydroponic business. But we use hydro stackers, which are vertical stackers. It's all indoors. We grow 24/7 year round. It's 72 degrees inside. So if you like to garden, but you don't like the heat, come volunteer with them. And we just grow fusion romaine lettuce. Our chemo patients can have it because there's no threat of a recall like E. coli, listeria, salmonella. You don't have any of that because there's no dirt. And people who volunteer love to go out and volunteer because they come home with that lettuce. And if you don't cut the roots off, it'll last in your fridge 4 to 6 weeks. So we harvest it, we dip it in an ice vat, and then we put it in the crate, and it lasts a long time. And so for people who need a good nutritional, that's great. But to make a bunch of salads, it's very affordable. So we grow around 6,500, 6,700 heads of lettuce a month. And, there's never even a head extra to go home from Manna. But I just love that we're able to bless kids with healthy stuff. And you'll see kids actually rip off the leaf going down the line eating it because it just tastes good. It's crisp, it's fresh, and it tastes wonderful. And if people want to go volunteer at the hydroponic garden, they just reach out to me. If they want to come volunteer at Manna House, just reach out to us. We love volunteers because Manna House is made up of people who just care. And maybe they got an hour a week or hour a month. And it's just nice to be able to drop in and do something that really matters.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that was one of the things that I could tell this morning is how passionate not only you were, but the folks that I had just a brief snippet of interaction with, uh, how passionate they were about giving back to others and doing. And I think it's just tremendous because you can see that they have hope for our community and for those that they're helping. And that kind of leads me to a question I was just thinking about as you were talking was, our community here, folks, if you're not from North Alabama and do, Huntsville is now the largest metropolitan area in Alabama, and Huntsville is growing by leaps and bounds, and a lot of great things are going on here. And one of those is a lot more people are moving here, but we're starting to have some more bigger city type problems and things with things. Have you seen? I know you guys have been out there for a long time now. Have you seen an increase in need for what y'all services are out there in the last 5 to 10 years?
We did. We saw a real jump after the 2011 tornadoes. And then things kind of settled down a little bit. People were doing better. They'd kind of recovered. And then COVID hit. And COVID brought in people that you wouldn't expect to be in your line. So right now, 71% of the people who come through our line have a full-time job. Some have a full-time job and working on the weekends part-time. So it changed the demographic of who's coming for help. It also lowered the playing field a little bit more fairly because people couldn't get lettuce at Publix, but they could at Manna House. They couldn't find certain foods at Publix, but they could at Manna House. They could get toilet paper at Manna House, but they couldn't get toilet paper sometimes at the grocery store. So sometimes people came out of desperation. And then
Mhm.
that's just my best volunteers right now because they know what it felt like then. But the numbers going up now are people that everything's gone up. Their insurance, their the property tax, their cell phone bills, everything's increasing, right? But maybe their salary hasn't kept up with that. So now suddenly they can't really cover the healthy thing. So they're buying inexpensive things that they can feed their family to feed them, but they realize they need those fresh fruits and vegetables. So some people come through, they don't even take the meat. They've gone to an all vegetarian diet because they can't afford meat.
Mhm.
So our goal is to make them feel comfortable so they'll keep coming, but also to help them improve where they're at. And maybe a better paying job would help, maybe something like that. So that's why we have Hope Works, is to just try to open that door for what can I do to help you get into the next level so you don't have to stay in this desperate state of survival all the time. I don't think that's healthy for you emotionally. I don't think it's healthy
Right.
physically. So it's more than just even putting food in their tummy. It's about helping them bring down the amount of stress that they face day to day.
Yeah, and I think that's something that a lot of us don't realize and do is that we see in our community, we see the great things and we see on the news about $4 billion Mazda Toyota plant with these other suppliers and all the great things going on associated with the Redstone Arsenal. But there are a lot of folks out there that are working, but they're struggling to make ends meet and they're having to cut corners. And you guys are helping them provide them a resource with healthy food options and things that maybe they can take that dollar and spend it on something else or gives them a healthier option to them and their family than they might could. Because kind of crazy sometimes the better, healthier foods usually sometimes even more expensive than the other food, right?
It's true.
Um, one of the other things that I know you guys were working on today when I was there, and I had a discussion with you this morning, and before we went live, that touches my heartstrings because my wife's a teacher, and that is the backpack program. Talk to folks out there a little bit about what the backpack program is and what the need for it is, and how you guys are helping along with other churches and things, organizations to partner with schools to help with this.
Sure. Thank you. So the backpack program is one of my favorite programs because it meets a need for a child. 15 years ago, many people know the story of three children who starved to death in our community. And that was a game changer for me. And a man named Steve Mann, who many people in the community love and admire, worked for Morgan Stanley. And he came in and said, "Hey, Houston's doing a backpack program. And if you're from Huntsville, Houston and Huntsville have always competed." When he said, "Let's do it better." So we went and visited the principal, and she would become an award recipient for the state of Alabama for being the first principal to allow backpacks in her school. And that was here in Huntsville. And she did it because those children attended her school, and it devastated her as well. So we started out the first year with the first week with 25 bags, and kids found out they could starve to death. So Huntsville City Schools responded incredibly well with social workers, counselors in the school, and said, go for it, do whatever you got to do. So we did 178 the next week, 383. Other churches started coming alongside and saying, hey, I can adopt this school, I can adopt that school. People in Madison, since you're from Madison, said, hey, what can we do? Sandy contacted us. And so just so many people jumped in and said, we want to make a difference. So today, there are many, many schools, many students who receive a weekend backpack bag with supply that weekend hunger need. Now, to meet that weekend hunger need. Now, every bag looks different. Ours is called Perks. I'm a defense contractor, so I'm going to do something that's got an acronym, and it stands for Perks Emergency Resources for Kids in School. But that lets me put more than food in my bag. So they're going to have popped up cans. They're going to have Little Debbie snacks. They're going to have potato chips and shelf-stable milk and maybe applesauce cups or fruit cups or Nutri-Grain bars. And so it's going to have a variety of things that are high calorie, high carb, high sugar. We're not going for nutritional here. We're trying to get enough calories in a kid to keep them alive, but also enough salt that makes them thirsty so they drink a lot of water. So we're trying to hydrate and get calories up, and it works. And so the kids have enough seed that they don't have to line up their food on Friday so that they're drinking water on Sunday. They have enough food to get them through the entire weekend. And it just mitigates the hunger for the weekend. But it also helps when they go back to school on Monday, they're ready to learn. They haven't been starving all weekend. They're not in a lethargic slump. They don't have a headache or stomach ache. They're really ready to go.
Right.
Makes a difference. The weekend backpack bag for us, we like to put extra goodies in around the holidays, candy, or maybe a stuffed animal, maybe a little itty bitty book light or a flashlight, something to help them in case it loses power, maybe a toboggan or gloves. So it looks different for us. But every group that starts, we're like, hey, do whatever you feel led to do. You may want to put something else in there besides what we're doing.
Roll.
But any peanut butter products, you try to buy a breakfast bar that doesn't have nuts, or is it manufactured with nuts?
Yeah.
Nutri-Grain bars. We know they probably get tired of the strawberry, the blueberry, and all that. But the goal is just give them something for their tummy. And that's an expensive program. It's the most expensive program I do, but it's worth it for a child to feel seen, loved, cared about. And now those kids that 15 years ago we had are grown kids, and they're helping pay for that program because they know the difference it made in their lives. It's amazing.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people don't realize, and I think the only reason I realize is just because of being married to a teacher, is that a lot of kids are dependent during the week on the school lunch program and breakfast program to get a good meal. And so on the weekends, I think people didn't realize that need was there, and it's so awesome that you guys are doing that. The other thing that you're doing is you and I discussed this morning is that you're doing it with dignity. You're not giving it to these kids in front of the rest of the class, that these kids are kind of quietly giving these backpacks and done, so they're not being embarrassed or in front of their friends or peers and do. So I think it's really allowing them to have their needs and meet those needs on the weekends, but doing it with dignity so they can maintain that sense of pride at the same time, right?
I love that. And I love the teachers who are retired that come and help pack those bags week after week because they still have a heart for students and they care. And it just blesses me every day to go in and see the volunteers at Manna House, but especially those backpack bags. And some of those ladies are a lot older than I am, but they make it up that ramp to help pack those bags because they love students. It's very sweet.
It's amazing, and I'm thankful for what y'all are doing for our kids in the community with that. Now, something you touched on a little earlier when we were talking about giving hope to the folks that are reaching out for food distribution and other things, and that is another program that I think you were telling me about this morning called Hope Works. That I guess is it kind of working as a partner or a sister agency organization to Manna House. Can you tell us what that is?
Sure. So we didn't want to name it Manna House because we didn't want people to come to the building and think we had food in there and then leave disappointed. So we just threw the name Hope Works up there because hope does work, but the hope is to help you work, help you have a better paying job. And so
Right.
I love our mayor has gone out of his way to bring businesses into our community. What we found during COVID is we had people who had been laid off, and it was because their business was closed and they needed another job opportunity, but they didn't have skill set. Some of them didn't even have a smartphone. So they didn't even know how to go online and apply. You couldn't go in person. So we started out by just bringing laptops and having people apply and enter their information. And all the interviews were online on Zoom. They'd never done Zoom. And so it was a great experience for us to realize, hey, I can help this lady get a better job. So instead of getting paid $7.78 an hour, she'd make it 23 an hour. She doesn't need my line. Now she got a great job. And I love all the companies, Mazda, Toyota, Amazon, Buffalo Rock, so many amazing businesses that don't leave anybody out, Blair's, all these wonderful companies that give you opportunities. And so they go on, we help them go on and apply. They go on their interview. And so we helped 65 people in the last few years get these great jobs. They have benefits, paid holidays, and what they most want to have, pride. They love coming home at night with that logo on their shirt that says, hey, I work here. And not any of the 65 have lost their job, been laid off. So they've got bonuses, promotions. They can't believe that this is where their life is now. But we have wonderful people in the community, all who are retired, who come in and teach basic classes that you and I have been exposed to, but they haven't had the opportunity for. But then we have wonderful people for Regions Bank and with First Bank that can teach financial literacy. So when they start making the money, they'll learn how to use their money in the best way. And we take that for granted too, because many of us had parents who taught us those things.
Yeah.
We now teach cottage industries. So maybe a young man just needs to learn how to mow grass, weed eat, do all the things, very basic things, but he can cut 3 yards. And that little bit of money is enough to pay for maybe his utility bill. Now he doesn't need my line. So we teach 5 cottage industries. We use Dale Smith's curriculum. Nothing is created. We just reached out to people and said, can we buy your curriculum? And then we have mentors that help them adjust to that. So the goal is to help people learn a skill set that then they have a better job opportunity, and then they're not in need of help, but then they can help somebody else. So that's what it's all about. And there's no charge for the classes. We teach them on Wednesday and Thursday mornings from 10 to 12. And they go to the website, reach out to us, we'll plug them in. We'd love to. We've got plenty of jobs out there. We just need people to connect. And so if they'll tell us that they're interested, we're glad to help.
That's just awesome. I mean, it really is, because you're helping people with the Manna House with an immediate need for something that they need now in the immediate future, but you're really helping people with regard to who works for long-term success.
That's right. We just had somebody that was able to buy a car for cash. And it's the first time she's ever been able to do that. It was very exciting. She's got a great vehicle now, really safe for her children. And that was very exciting to be a small part of that. You don't think about those things sometimes. I think Huntsville doesn't hide their poor. We see them. They're right here with us. But we also don't realize some of the serious obstacles they face, transportation being one of them.
Right.
I love that this month people can ride the bus for free anywhere. We have so many people who are taking advantage of that to go do things with their kids they couldn't have done. And I just love our community. Our community is so generous, but also proactive to say, you don't have to stay here. What can we do to help you move to the next stage?
That's fantastic. I want to thank Blake Skeeto for saying hello. This is a great interview. I love Miss Fran. Blake, thanks for jumping in and giving us a watch today.
Blake, because he and his family have helped us do Christmas for all these years. They come help us set up. They help do everything. His son Barrett has some of the best pictures of Barrett doing fun things at Christmas. I think he has inflated more bike tires than anybody.
Well, I know the Skeetos real well. They're great folks, and Blake's a great guy, awesome. and Jay. So I know you've got an event coming up that I wanted to give you an opportunity to tell us about, the Stomp Out Hunger Food Drive. Tell us about that. Tell us kind of where it is and what you're looking to do with this food drive.
Well, I'm excited. This is not my creative idea. Nothing at Manna House is. People just come to me and I'm like, sure, let's do it. And a couple, Nicole and Johnny Wilson, came to me during COVID and said, there's so many ministries that are out of food. What can we do to make a difference? And so we did a food drive called Stop Out Hunger. We did it it was actually superheroes themed, and we did it at Toyota Field. And all the people brought food, and then we bought food from Publix, and people pulled up, and we loaded ministries that needed food to be able to have food during COVID to give out, but also during Thanksgiving and Christmas. That was amazing. So the next year we moved to Adtran. It was amazing again. And then we found our forever home. We did it at Orion one year as well, but our forever home is Wicksfield. We love it. It's central. Everybody can get there. Joe Davis Stadium at Rework is amazing, and the parking lot's perfect. So what happens is Publix unloads, companies come and donate, and then we have other nonprofits who are trying to feed the community drive by. We schedule a time with them, and they get loaded. And the food bank last year, we've loaded the food bank all the years of the food drive, and we'll do it again this year. We want even the food bank to have a part of this because it's our community. And we want everybody who needs food to feed families to have it. It's just a great way for people to get involved. We have scout troops that, might just collect jelly, or we have other groups that collect nothing but mac and cheese. They don't want to carry it together. But it all adds up, and it makes for a great way for kids to have food when they're out of school for holidays, because that holiday break, fall break coming up, and other events, you don't think about it, but kids don't have food for that whole week because they're not getting it at school. So the food drive is close to my heart. We changed it to Stop Out Hunger because we use the T-Rex, and the T-Rex makes it fun. Nicole dresses in that T-Rex costume and just makes it fun. And I love how Publix comes out every year. They help volunteer. Ben does a great job helping us coordinate the order. And it's just a blessing to be able to help those who are helping the community. And I don't have to come to my dock to get food. They just come right there and load it. And then our dock gets real crazy around the holidays, but it really helps. So Stop About Hunger is really dear to my heart. I love it. It's fun because everybody can get involved. An office can do something. A school can do something. Everybody can do a little bit, and then it adds up and makes a huge difference.
So you guys are encouraging, just to make sure, as I told you this morning, I'm going to try to get some folks rallied up here in my office to try to get some stuff running so we can coordinate dropping something off for you guys then. So this is October 12th. And what kind of items are y'all looking for, Fran? What are y'all looking for to bring in and do?
Anything anybody wants to bring. Last year, we had a company that showed up with beefaroni, spaghettios, and all kinds of stuff. Dawson did that. And got another company that came. They just brought cases of corn and green beans and peas that they bought at Sam's Club. So really, it's whatever anybody likes to eat. Bring that because somebody else likes to eat that too.
Okay, that's great. And what about other hygiene products? Is it just food right now for this drive? Are you looking for diapers and all that kind of stuff too?
If somebody brings that, we're definitely going to share in that because we share a lot of diapers with a lot of organizations.
Okay.
We not only share kid diapers, but adult diapers because special needs kids, as they grow, get into adult diapers, but so do adults. And so we just want to meet that need, whatever somebody has.
Absolutely. Well, as we get ready to wrap up here, last thing I want to ask you is tell us a little bit about how you guys get your funding. Are you having grants, donations? And then at the end, I want to talk about what I know makes you smile is that's the volunteers that you get to work with out there. Tell us a little bit about the funding and stuff and how that works out there with you guys.
So we're funded by individuals, families, family foundations. We do write grants, companies for 501c3 public charity, so they can have the tax write-off for doing that. But really, I don't want to take away from any other nonprofit in the community. We have so many wonderful people that are doing really essential things. So I just trust the Lord to channel their heart that if they're supposed to give us something, then do it. And if not, don't. But it doesn't take a lot to make a huge impact.
Right.
If people gave $5, that's $25. That's a pound of meat. And 750 families get a 10-pound bag of chicken. It doesn't take much to do a lot. And so I just tell people, do what you feel led to do. I have one girl, she's vegetarian. She gives and she goes, don't use my money for meat. No problem. So I bought eggplant because that's her favorite thing. Do I need eggplant? No, but she loved it. She gave out all those pounds of eggplant for weeks. But I just love that people give where their heart is. And we just want people to know that whatever they give matters. It doesn't have to be a lot. They can give online. If a company wants to do a virtual food drive, maybe they don't have time or space to house all that stuff in their office. All they got to do is reach out to me. We'll set them up and they can do a virtual food drive and keep up with how much was given and how much is bought. So there's lots of creative ways today, thanks to COVID, that you can give and, just contribute a little bit matters. We have people that do hydro drives for us all, and they just do it virtually. And then we go out and buy a case of something.
That's great. And folks, I'll share through earlier and I'm going to share again here in just a minute, the website. So if you want to feel inclined and your heart's driven to give a donation, and as Miss Fran shared earlier, and she shared with me this morning, small donation can really go a long way with what y'all are doing, and make a bigger impact than you might first think. So, as I like to say in some of the things I do, big or small, we'll take them all. And it needs all better. Yeah, and so I know y'all probably subscribe to that
Yes,
theory as well.
absolutely.
So tell me a little bit as we finish up here, and as I know that Blake and them, his family have done as well. Talk a minute about the volunteers. It was just really impressive to me to see um, that you had people from all walks of life. You had retired military, you had retired teachers, retired professionals. You had all these people that I just got to meet in just a quick snapshot walking through this morning from all walks of life to come together to help our community. It was really cool. Tell us a little bit about the people that are volunteering and what kind of needs you guys have out there and what the opportunities are.
Thank you. Yes, we have amazing volunteers. You want to make some really great friends, come volunteer at Manna House. You'll meet the best people in the community. But we really do tell people that. It's kind of funny. But, people sometimes they've lost a spouse and they're just lonely. And sometimes they maybe had a job transfer here and they're just looking to get connected to community. So you'll
Mhm.
see a lot of retired people that's early in the day. Later again, you'll see the working people like us who are at a job, and then we're going to come afterwards and just help with closing and clean up. You meet a lot of young people who got to get those National Honor Society hours, or like with your son coming from Bob Jones with the basketball team, they came and got their community service hours. Most of the sports groups require community service hours, or maybe they're an Eagle Scout and they need a project. We always got tons of project, and that's a great place to come and get your Eagle Scout project done. So anyone can volunteer. We're there 1 to 6:30 Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. You don't sign up, just show up. And then
Yep.
on Saturday, we're there from 10 a.m. to 1. We do a drive-through food distribution from 10 to 1. That's mostly for chemo patients, but anybody can come. And then from 11 to 1, we have what's called outdoor church. We have different pastors throughout the area who come and do a message, different groups who do the music, different churches who do the meal, serve a hot meal, love our people. A lot of times you have families who are living out of their cars that come to that because there's no place to get a hot meal on the weekend. So it's a great way to volunteer. And you bring your friends. We have a little boy who just had a birthday party, and his birthday party was to come work at Manna House. And then all the
Oh, wow.
well, sweet.
Oh,
And but he would live at Manna House, I think, if they'd let him. No, he really loves being there, but he loves the people and he loves produce, and it's just fun to him. And that inspires me. So bring your grandkids. Also, is a great opportunity for you to teach your kids philanthropy at a young age. Everybody's welcome, all ages. Our oldest volunteer is 102, and our youngest is a little baby in a Tula, and she comes with her mama to volunteer. But anybody can help in any way. And if you have a nut allergy, just don't work in desserts. A lot of our desserts do have nuts in them today,
right.
pecans and almonds and walnuts and all kinds of stuff. So I say stay out of that area if you've got a best friend that has that allergy, but all the other areas really safe for you to be in and work. And yeah, I've got a guy that comes with his wife. He does not like people, but he lets her work with the people and he breaks down boxes and feeds them in. So, we got something for everybody.
But Trevor,
Man likes to do bike repair. We got a lot for that. And so there's things you can do that you don't have to interact directly with people, but there's also a great way to interact with people. And, Tomer and French Dombrowski used to come and just sit in a chair and read to kids while mom's in the line. There's all kinds of ways
you just
or we can give and have a give back and create your own way. We have people who do nothing but just walk the line and talk to people and offer hope and encouragement, pick on the kids, kind of make sure kids are safe and not going to run out in traffic. Parking lot direction is a real important.
grow.
It's really crazy around there. So there's lots of jobs, lots to do. And we, of course, the hydroponic garden, always love volunteers down there.
Well, I get a feeling, Miss Fran, from interacting with you and the other folks briefly this morning that those people leave probably with as much, if not more, than the people that are coming there for a little bit of help, based upon the feedback in the field and the sense of community and a thing that they get. So, folks, I would encourage you that if you've got some time or you want to get your kids involved in helping them and giving back to our community, to reach out. And as Miss Fran said, just show up. But the other thing I'll tell you, if you want to know some more details, they have a really nice website down here below. Check it out, mymannahouse.com, and you can learn more details. Ms. Fran, thank you for taking time today. Thank you for all that you and all the amazing people that are associated with Manna House are doing for our community and what you're doing out of Oak Works to try to help better folks and give them better opportunities. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate you taking time today.
Thank you so much. For a great day.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.